Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keene from God TV Radio. Make sure you check out my website, godtvradio.com. Recently, I was on The Drunken Peasants. We did a private show. It is now sitting on Vimeo, being sold for like $6. The price of a Happy Meal along with the soda. I made it very clear quite a few times during 3 or 4 hours worth of footage that I wanted to extend an olive branch, that I wanted to get along with the Drunken Peasants, and I still want to. I want to stop all the drama that we've had. We've had a lot of heartache and aggravation back and forth, but I didn't want to be a part of their segment. I was hoping that they would stop using my videos and there would stop being this nasty treatment back and forth. I myself, I'm interested in simply removing all videos having to do with the Drunken Peasants and the Amazing Atheist, and simply either two alternatives: either go my separate way, or we learn to respect each other and heal through whatever issues we've had. There's been some things that were said in that video that bother me, though. One of the major ones that bothered me was whenever they accused me of, they didn't use this word, but this is how I perceived it, inciting that a guy named Joseph Martelli caused them some kind of harm or problems. They also put it very clearly that they perceived him as mentally ill, as though he was crazy, that he was going to cause them some kind of harm. I will say this right now. One, I'd only seen maybe 6 or 10 of his videos at the most, and that was a long while back. His videos were very short. He recorded them with his phone. He would say some silly shit. He would call Tommy from the Bronx Snagglepuss or Tooth or something like that, and then his videos would shut down abruptly. This is the type of content he had. Joseph Martelli, I literally had 2 interactions with him. I think that he might have came into one of my hangouts a while back for a short period of time, and his phone was screwed up, and we weren't able to have a conversation with him. He couldn't hear us. We couldn't make him out because his shit was all robotic sounding. But you're going to see, I've got a video right now that I'm going to show you guys to show that TJ and his group are wrong about how they perceive this Joseph Martelli thing. At least whenever it comes to me and my interaction with Joseph Martelli. You will see in the hangout where I clearly tell Joseph Martelli, you don't plan on hurting these guys, do you? You don't plan on doing something ignorant or anything, right? And the guy says, no. He says, I don't even watch the Drunken Peasants. I don't want to have anything to do with them. I just wanted to do YouTube videos where I talk about my life. I've got a lot of my own issues. This is what he says, word for word, in my hangout, and I'm going to put a link in the description for you. They also accused me of dropping their docs, or personal information, of where they supposedly live. This is not true either. You're going to hear very clearly in the video that there's another YouTuber in the room who's actually a Drunken Peasants fan of theirs talking about where he thinks that they may live. And I told him, I don't want to know. I don't want to hear about it. I don't know why it is that Paul Zigo and TJ think that I did any of the kind of shit that they accused me of. But you can clearly see in the video that they're talking about that I didn't want to have anything to do with that kind of shit, and I actually told the person to stop their bullshit. And it was a Drunken Peasants fan. The guy come in the room talking crazy shit, and you'll see him up on the screen most of the time. He was a kid who apparently was looking for attention and just wanted to see what Brett Keene was all about. Joseph Martelli makes it very clear that he had no intentions of causing any harm to anyone whatsoever. So I want you guys to check out the link, and I want you to see it. If you have seen TJ's video already and you see their accusations towards me, remember the things they accused me of and then watch the video through. You will see that Joseph Martelli is not mentally ill. He's not crazy. He says some goofy shit like most of us do on YouTube, but he makes it abundantly clear that he never wanted to harm any of them. And I make it abundantly clear that he shouldn't go up there, that he shouldn't even get involved. But since he did go up there and do that, I do say things like the crowd runs after him and they do ignorant shit to him. But I also say this too, you'll hear me in the video say, if they really believed that he was some kind of danger, then why would they run after him in the first place? If you think somebody's crazy and you think somebody's armed, like the way they represented him on their podcast, you'll see. You'll also hear me say as well in the Hangout, I talk about when I was on their podcast, the Drunken Peasants podcast, and they asked me the question, what do you think about this Joseph Martelli guy? Blah, 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 blah. Why are you having him on your show and all this? You will hear me clearly say on their podcast, as well as on my own show, that if you think that he's some kind of danger, or you think that your life is threatened in any kind of way, you should call the police. You see, there's nothing I can do about it except for tell Joseph Martelli, don't do shit. Don't fuck around with people. Don't do this, don't do that. But I don't know the guy personally. I'd only had 2 interactions, and the third one was absolute shit. And it was really for a very short period on each one of the interactions I've had. The video is made so the Amazing Atheist, because I don't know if TJ was tripping out that day. I don't know if Paul's ego was off in another world because of some of the kind of chemicals he puts in his body, or if they were just exaggerating for pure entertainment or for the point of the show. But I don't want people watching their shit and thinking that I tried to cause any kind of danger towards any of those men. Even though TJ has recorded himself on Periscope claiming that he thinks that my family would be more beneficial if I were dead, that is not how I feel about TJ and them. I see them as people that I used to be friends with and cared very much for. I see them as people that I would like to get through our differences and move on, or just completely not have anything to say about each other. But I can't let an accusation like that fly, especially when I've got the proof right in the description, the link. Take a listen for yourself. Peace. God bless.